We want to solve this system of equations, 2x minus y equals 5 and y is equal to 2x squared minus 2x minus 11. Usually when you solve systems of equations, you go to elimination method first, but the way this one is set up, it's actually going to make it easier to use the substitution method. The first step in the substitution method is to solve one of your equations for one of the variables. Remember, the goal in this is to eliminate one of the variables long enough to solve it. You can't solve an equation that has two different variables. There's an infinite number of answers. But if we can take this expression right here and substitute it in for y, and since I'm told it equals to y, that's a good option. So I'm going to take 2x minus. Instead of y, I'm going to put this whole expression, which is 2x squared minus 2x minus 11 equals 5. Alright, now let's distribute this minus sign into here to get rid of the parentheses. So I've got 2x minus 2x squared plus 2x plus 11 equals 5. Just combining terms now. 2x plus 2x is 4x. So negative 2x squared plus 4x plus 11 equals 5. And then I'm going to subtract the 5 from each side because technically you want a 0 over there since this is quadratic. Alright, now this is final form here. Now what I need to do is solve this equation for x. It is quadratic, so let's factor and use the zero product property. I'm going to have a greatest common factor here of 2. And since my leading term is negative, I want to factor out a negative 2 so I can get that off of there. So when I factor negative 2 out of here, this will be x squared. It's going to change these other two signs. That'll be minus 4x minus 2x minus 3. Got to divide by 2. Alright? I can factor this now. So I'm going to have the negative 2, which is really not going to affect my answer any. What can this factor into? I'm just going to unfold it. So my first terms will be x and x. I'm going to have a plus and a minus. Now, what two numbers will multiply to give me negative 3, but add up to give me negative 2? That's going to be minus 3 plus 1. Now for the zero product property, you take each one of these, your x plus 1 and your x minus 3, and you set it equal to 0, and you get an answer. Well, when I do x plus 1 equals 0, I'm going to subtract 1 from each side, so I get x is negative 1. When I use x minus 3, I'm going to add 3 to each side, so I get this. Now, what you're going to get here is two ordered pairs. You're looking for the place where these two equations cross. And think back, this is linear. So this is a straight line on a graph board. This is a parabola, and I haven't analyzed it. But so what you're looking for is the two places where these things cross. So here's the first part of each ordered pair. I'm going to have one ordered pair that has negative 1 and one ordered pair that has a 3. So what do we do now? Go back up to your original equation and plug this in for x. So if I take the negative 1 in here, I'm going to have 2 times negative 1 minus y equals 5. Negative 2 minus y equals 5. Add 2 to each side, 7, and then to multiply by negative 1. So whenever x is negative 1, y is negative 7. Now we're going to do the same thing with the 3. Same equation. I can put 2 times 3 minus y equals 5. 6 minus y equals 5. Subtract 6 from each side. I get negative y is equal to negative 1. Multiply all the way through by negative 1 to get rid of the negative in front of your variable. And y is equal to 1. And that's all there is to it. A lot of steps, but none of the steps were hard. You just have to keep thinking about what do I have and what do I want.